Okay, hello and welcome guys. My name is Bright from CEO Designs. So in today's tutorial, we're talking about layouting for designs and how you can properly, adequately apply this to your flyer designs. Trust me, I'll be dropping tricks and tips in today's tutorial. Just stay, don't leave, stay. Let's go there. So over time, I've had this complaint from people that when I try to make flyer designs, I tend to struggle with arranging my element on the screen. Like I tend to struggle, and sometimes when I'm done with it, I'm not even proud of myself and stuff like that. I smiled and I said, I've been there. Yes, I've been there. It's not easy, but over time it gets better. But it doesn't just get better over time. You must constantly do something, or you must do a practice, or you must learn something to fix the problem. Problem don't just go away without you doing anything, or most times doesn't just go away that way. So in this tutorial, I'll be dropping some few points that you can use and apply to your designs to help your layouting better to come out well. So flyer designs, you will not sleep on making just one flyer design. For 2-3 days you are still one flyer design. So just stay with me. So because I tell people that design is actually solving a problem with your design solution, and in flyer designs you're usually telling a story. Okay, it's a design to sell out a product or to sell a product, and you're like creating a marketing campaign. With that design, you are trying to sell out or sell a story properly. That anybody that sees the design is interested and can read and understand your story with ease. So in this layouting tutorial, I'll teach you guys the same way UI designers learned how to lay out. But at this point, you are not using it as for a UI design. You're actually implementing, you're actually applying that same technique the UI guys use on your flyer design. And what is that technique? It's called wireframing. The UI guys in wireframe, after they have gone through their research and everything, when it's time to start up the design process, they start up with wireframing, and they draw one or two things on a piece of paper or on a book, and that's where they put, okay, the buttons will be around here, this and that and that. So that same technique, we are going to use it on our flyer designs, and you see how you can easily apply to your flyer designs, and it works for almost every kind of flyer design. Okay, let's go. Now, I'll not be using a book and a bio yet. I'll be using my Photoshop canvas to work. Yes, I can actually write on this guy. So this is the guy I'll be using to work today. So we learn how to do basic wireframing, and that's what we apply to our flyer. But before we talk about wireframing, I want to establish this. We have 3 types of alignment. Yes, very important. Alignment. We have the left align, we have the right align, we have the center alignment. So we work with these 3 guys. Some people say these 2 alignments, that these 2 are called edge alignment, then center alignment. Whichever, what I'm concerned is that we have the left, the right, and the center. Now we work with these 3 alignments while we are building our wireframe. It's very important that you note this. That's why I mentioned this earlier. So it's very important you know this 3 alignment, because our wireframe will be based on these 3 alignment pattern. Okay, so wireframing is down. Now, while you want to create a layouting for your flyer design, there are 2 things you should be very concerned about. We already talked about layouting. That one is very important because, we talked about sketching your wireframe is very important in layouting. But these 2 things are very important while you are making your layouting. One of it is actually called visual story. Then the other one is called balancing. Just as I said earlier, the flyer, you're using flyer to tell a story about a brand, a service, a business, or whatsoever. So while telling a story about the brand, it has to be attention grabbing. Why telling a story to people and they are sleeping? The same thing applies to your flyer design. You can't put up a flyer up there and once, if it's on a WhatsApp status, once people sees it, they just swipe and they run away. If it's on Instagram, they just quickly scroll down because it's very bad. Visually, it is not appealing. Visually, it is boring. No, you want a flyer design that can tell the visual story properly. And while telling the visual story, the visual story must be one, attention grabbing. Attention grabbing, very important. And secondly, it should be able to control the user's eye, their eye movement. You want to sell. You are not just making the flyer or the design so it to be fine out there. No, you actually want to sell. So you are trying to direct their eyes, just like how I use this arrow to direct your eyes to this point on my canvas. That's the same way we use elements of design to direct user's eye or the prospectus client's eye to what you're actually trying to sell. So in visual story, it's very important to take note of the fact that the design must be attention grabbing. Like, it must grab people's attention when they see them, be like, wow, and they want to read more. And while they are about to read more, or they are trying to read about the design, you are controlling their eyes by yourself. Wherever you are, you already set your functions to do that. So your design actually controls the user's eye based on the direction you want the user's eye to go, and to end on the CTA button or call to action details or whatsoever. It's very much important. Then number 2 is balancing. In as much as you are telling a visual story with your design, if your design is not balanced, my God, you just wasted your time. Because a design is like your design canvas is like a weight, this weight balance. While you are dropping an element, let me hide this guy and create. While you are dropping an element on this side, you're also dropping an element on this side. You're also dropping an element on this side. Every of this element has to balance on this screen. You're not just doing these things at random. Do you get me? So it is very important that your designs tell perfect visual stories and they have proper balancing on your design canvas. Okay, now let's get to the practical aspect of every of these jargons we have been talking since. So right now, with every of these things we have learned, we'll be building some wireframes. So we'll see how these things apply, and after building the wireframe, we'll check them out with some already done designs, and we'll also make just a very quick design out of our wireframe. So the first wireframe I'll be building with the alignment we talked about earlier, we'll put that into consideration, and also the eye movement. Okay, so we'll build a wireframe based off the left alignment. So that's the first one we'll be building, a wireframe based off the left alignment. So I could actually draw something like this. Okay, and call this one main picture. Okay, and I can also have something like this and call this theme. The theme means the in hierarchy the most pronounced text, the biggest text in the design. So that's the theme, the biggest text. Okay, then I can have at this top, call this one footer, and have at the bottom, you can guess what this one actually is. I meant this header. Okay, and the other one footer. Let me take this thing off to avoid confusion. So this header and the bottom footer. Okay, that's good. Now what this simply means is where this guy is, I can actually have my biggest image here, the attention grabbing image of my design, and it's always very important that this image is of high resolution, an HD image, an image that is really attention grabbing, that really speaks so much about what the business does. Then over here where we have the theme, this is where we have the attention grabbing text, probably that the text that the person is buy one get one free. So the buy one get one free, this is where it will be written, occupying this kind of space in our design. You get. Now moving to the top, we have the header. This is where the brand name would be and their identity, the logo. the brand icon, the brand name, and the identity. Then at the footer, we can have their contact details here, how you can reach them, how you can buy whatsoever thing that they are selling. Every their contact details can be here. Then around these places, we can then have other texts, like other texts probably explaining the team, what they are actually trying to sell out. Since it's buy two get one free, okay, this could be other details. So with this kind of alignment, it's actually called the left alignment. Why? The image is around here and the texts are aligned by the left. We'll see an example of this. Okay, so as the image is placed, I can quickly write my text. So remember, this is where we place the image on the main image side. So I could write my big text is there, the team. God, this, let me hide this guy. So I think I'll just be creating an exchange flyer for this crypto. Let's give it blue. Oh, sorry. Okay. Duplicate this one at the bottom. First exchange. So it's usual crypto stuffs. So we have built we have placed the main, we have placed the team. Now it's to place the header. So I could just duplicate this guy, pick him up. I'll call him Nedo Exchange. It's Nigerians, our sweet Nigerian brothers. Okay, now I'm part of the country. Okay, just give this a. So we'll just quickly create a logo for him, just a round circle, nothing more. Don't be scared. Okay, this guy, that's okay. Come on, follow me. Okay, so we'll take these two guys and just remember I said alignment. Okay, now that's done. So we'll create the footer now. So for the footer, we'll have a rectangle bar. I will not do much. We'll just write phone number, just a random phone number, because we're only trying to show we are not building a V flyer here. We're only showing how this applies. Okay, so just random. If in case if it's your phone number, it's not on purpose. Okay. Just push this guy up a little. Okay. So that's our phone number. Okay, so let me make this guy. Okay, I just play around with this guy. Just quickly desaturate him. Okay, and there's one thing I would like to do. Okay, and said yeah, other details. Okay, so just quickly we'll use dummy text. So just quickly have some dummy text around here. Alright, just black to complement the blue. Just reduce this guy to 8. Okay, let's just stay here, guy. Okay, no. Just take them up a little bit. Okay, remember this guy. Okay, fine. Then let me just add something more interesting to him. Just a crypto coin. Okay. Okay, quickly remove that background. And let's scale this guy down a little bit. Just put at the bottom. see, I could place this guy around here to also, remember I said balancing, to also balance up with the content at the bottom, why these guys are left aligned. These guys are left aligned. So the header is balancing up with the footer. So if you remember our templates we built, we have the main image here, we have the theme here, we have the header here, and we have the footer here, then the other text is around here. So with this theme, it's very quick, super fast. In less than how many minutes I built this, and assuming it's really for a client, we'll put more effort making it look more, we could play with the background, play with texture files and stuff. But the main point here is building a flyer design based off a template. So with this one design, we can actually build other templates quickly and play around with these designs around the templates. Just watch. Okay, so for the next template we are drawing, it will be for right alignment. So we can have our main image here. I know you have gotten the point. Image, the main image here. So we can have our theme here. Theme. We can have our other texts here. We can have our header here. We can have our footer here. So applying this, we can still use that same design and just change stuffs around. For example, I could start up with this man's image and push him to the right. Okay. I can now push these guys to the left. You see? Okay, and okay, and every other thing stays put. Now it's just like okay, and also pull this guy. Now it's so quick, it's like magic, and everything is just working out the way we want it to work out based off that template we built. And it's just so easy. We can now move stuffs around intentionally. Before, you could just be dropping these stuffs on your Canva. Let me just put the image here, let me just put the text here. No, with this idea we can actually set stuffs right perfectly on our design Canva intentionally. We can just play with stuff. I can even change this guy to a center alignment and change this one also to a center alignment, and it could still work out because I know what I'm doing. You get the point now, which I can leave it in left alignment, whichever I want, but everything can just continually work out fine because we already built a template around it. We can try a center. So for the center alignment, now watch. I could have my big image, my main image around here. I have my header around here, my theme around here, and every other small image, small titles there. Then I have my footer around here. Now let's play around with that design again. So I could put this guy to the center, okay, and put this guy, change the alignments to center. First of all, arrange it like this, then change my little guy to center alignment. Then I can also spread it out some more, you get, so I can fit properly. Okay, then also I could keep this guy, remember balancing, just watch how we balance every of this. Okay, then let me take off that template at the background so we see our design. Okay, then I could actually reduce this guy, bring this man down more, take this. I could still keep them on a line, you get, but no, I want to leave them like this, just the way it has been. Okay, then for balancing sake, if you notice now in this design, you discover that this side is heavier than this side. So for balancing sake, I could repeat this coin, just duplicate and flip to this other side. You see, so it's helping out in our balancing so quickly. That guy just fixed our balancing for us. So every of this thing works like magic. I could still spread out this this guy's level. So let me just reduce the text so I can map out very well for me. I could still spread out this text properly. Yes, better now. Okay. I could spread out this text properly and everything is looking balanced, centrally aligned now. You see? Very perfect. Very good. So once you have your templates working, you can actually arrange stuffs based on that template. See, I arranged this guy based on the template I built and it just came out perfectly. So the key of this is get your template working. Draw out a template on a book. Then after drawing out the template, start applying your design based off that template. Don't just drop stuffs at random anymore. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really do the work. So based off that template you have built, just start making your design based of it. Everywhere you need to place stuffs there based on that template you have built. You get me? So I'm just trying to balance up stuffs on my design. Yeah. So the important thing is to get your template working. Then afterwards, when you're applying your template, you check the visual story and you check the balancing, the VB, the visual story and the balancing. Very much important, those two guys. Okay, is it telling the right story? Okay, they do exchange, makes best exchange for so, and this is how you contact him. So I'm telling a very perfect story with this design, and my balancing is very accurate. Every side of my design is having proper balancing. It's not being weighed on one side and the other side is lacking some mass or some weight. No, every part of my design is well balanced, well aligned, center aligned. So these are like practical examples of working with the alignment, the wireframe, the left, the right, and the center wireframe. I only touched 3 wireframes today because I really wanted to keep the video simple. So in this one, I used the right alignment where we have our main image here and we have our text here. So this is the main image. This is the theme, the biggest text in hierarchy. Then this is the other text. And okay, there's no footer in this design, but we have an header image. And by the way, VTQ King, they are legit business people, and just as the flyer read that converts MTN airtime to cash at 15%. In case if you one day you wanted to do a data subscription and you over recharged from your bank, you wanted to recharge 5,000, now recharge 50,000. My God, just head up to their website and you see how to change that over recharge airtime to cash. Okay, so that's for that one. Now this one is the center alignment where we have the main image at the center. Then we have, in the example we did, we had the theme on top, but yeah, we have the theme at the bottom. Then it text around here by the right and text by the left to balance up this design. Yes, then we now have the footer and the header. Okay, this guy here, it's using kind of the left alignment. We have the big text, the big image here, then the theme around this place, then other texts is around here. This design has so many texts, so that is why it's like this. So we have other texts, we have the theme here, other texts around it, then the footer and the header. So the reason why these things are placed like this is for balancing purpose. Like this place is weighing, this place is kind of heavy, so if you are pushing this header to the right, it's adding more weight to the right. So that was why the header was pushed to the left to add more weight to this image. So here we have like 50%, and here we have 50%, or like 53% and 47%, something like that. And having the footer that balances everything up just using a center line. So we also have this guy where the image is at the center, the theme on top, and the brand identity here, then the footer here, then these guys were just to balance up. If you notice, we have the brand identity here, the brand name and logo here. To balance up this guy was placed to the left. I could actually place this guy to the right, but it gives this guy more weight by the right. So placed this guy by the left to balance up this guy at the top. So these are just ways you make an attention grabbing design with balancing and telling the proper visual story. So these are just simple ways you can get this thing achieved, and I believe and I hope that this tutorial really did so much. So with this, we come to the end of today's tutorial, and I'm very sure you learned something from today. Try and apply these techniques to your design, and drop your feedbacks, drop your question using the comment section. And please, if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, do click the subscribe button and the bell icon close to it so you'll be notified when future videos like this are posted. Thank you, and see you in the next tutorial.